Hi there, I'm Tiffany T, the Lux Realtor, and in today's video, we are going to talk about choosing the right realtor. Now, if you are looking to sell a luxury home or purchase a luxury home, this is probably not your first rodeo, although it could be. But I just want to talk to you about what's really important when you're looking for that realtor, especially in 2023, because this market can be saturated with so many people who have that title. So if you're looking for a new realtor, or if you think you'll be looking for one in the months or years to come, I want you to stay tuned. Let's get right into it. So first, before you actually reach out or start researching to other agents, obviously it's really important for you to understand what you're looking for, which you're going to know that. Are you a first-time home buyer? Are you looking for commercial? Are you looking for luxury? Are you looking for lakefront? Are you looking for condos? Because while agents are able to obviously do everything and sell everything in their specific state or wherever they're licensed, there are agents who specialize. So you have those who are, full on residential, so they really can help with any price range. But if you're looking for a luxury property, you may look for an agent who specializes in the luxury market, who has those connections. Commercial also can be very, very different. So some agents who are well versed in residential are not in commercial. For instance, I have closed a couple commercial deals, but usually so that my clients can get the absolute best experience, I will refer to my commercial partner who I know is specialized in that area. So again, the first thing in choosing the right realtor is making sure that you can identify when you talk to that realtor what it is that you're looking for, and make sure that they specialize in that, or they focus in that, or they may be able to refer you to someone who they know. And then there's nothing like a really good referral. All right, so the very first thing when you are looking for a new realtor is going to be responsiveness. How long did it take them to get back to you? And the reason that that's important at the initial is because it may give you kind of an idea of how they're going to be in business, right? Did they call you back 3 days later? Did they text you back 5 days later? So that's really something that you want to think about when you reached out, when you called, when you left that voicemail. How long did it take you to hear back from that agent? So that's going to be on the top of the list. You want to make sure that that agent is going to be available to you. Now, I will say this. I will encourage you that if you do call an agent, sending a text nowadays to kind of follow up with it will be helpful, only because you guys know scam likely is always showing up on our phone. So just in case your phone number did not show up as your name, or it just showed up kind of foreign and someone didn't immediately answer, we don't want to assume that they're not going to be responsive. So a good follow-up with a text message, or again a voicemail, will definitely be helpful. And something that agents always respond to, if they don't, you can just eliminate them, it's going to be email. I check my email like I think I would check on a newborn baby. Like all the time. Like, our email is where we really live. So again, when you are looking for that new realtor for your luxury purchase or your luxury sale, I really want to encourage you to really pay attention to that initial response time, because that will kind of give you an indication of how they're going to communicate with you as you guys get further in the transaction. So thing number 2, and this one can be a little tricky, and that's why I definitely wanted to talk to you guys about it. So experience is something that's obviously very important. Again, as I said at the beginning, if you're a luxury client and you're buying a luxury property, a vacation home, a secondary property, an investment property, or if you're selling a luxury home, this probably isn't your first rodeo. So you're probably going to be looking for an agent who also, this isn't their first rodeo, right? You don't want to feel like you're having to teach them or train them or ask questions that maybe they should be answering before a question even arises. But I also want to say, when you're looking for that agent, sometimes, even if they haven't been in the business for years, their knowledge and their hunger, their attentiveness, and even their availability could really meet your needs. Now, I've been in the business for a long time, so this is not me advocating for me, although if you're in Michigan and you're looking for luxury real estate, you absolutely need to call me. But I really just want to sincerely help you in finding that new agent, because sometimes an agent who is experienced or who have, years and years and years in the business, they might be too busy to really give you or your property the attention that it needs unless they've built a team or, some type of support. So I wanted to bring this up as number two, because I know that most people are going and they're looking for that experience. Who's that expert in that area? Who's that expert in their industry? Again, if you are looking for something very specialized, an agent who is specialized and maybe have been there for a long time, really understands this specific subdivision, or if you have a very special needs that you're looking for, I can understand looking for that experience. But I just kind of want to advocate that as you're looking for an agent, while the experience is very important, you have some agents who may be only a year in or even 6 months in that has done so much due diligence in getting the knowledge, learning the area. They're hungry. They're going to do everything that they can to work for you. So that experience is important, because I'll be honest with you, I know some agents that has been in the industry for years that working with is kind of a pain, right? Because they're not as nice, they're not as pleasant. And sometimes when people who have been doing it for so long, they could also get complacent because they have a good referral-based business. So I'm saying that to say, when choosing the right realtor, experience is important, knowledge is important, but it's so important to know what you're looking for, and what may be matching you could be someone with more availability to focus on and hone in on the marketing for your listing, or hone in on your type of availability as you are looking for your next property. So this is another one. I feel like I'm kind of on the opposite side of what people would be explaining when looking for a realtor, because I'm also going to be kind of sharing with you what not to look for, or looking for this may not always indicate they're the best agent. And that's going to be the online presence, right? Definitely doing your due diligence online will be helpful. I've had so many people that reached out to me and said, your online presence was amazing, because they also get to kind of see some personal things about me, from my faith to the fact that I, wrote a book and I help investors and I do this and I do that. So that online presence can give you a really great look into that agent that you may be thinking about, or even if someone referred them and you may want to do your own due diligence. But you also want to be careful, because you guys know people market what they want. And then also there are some experienced agents who they just don't have an online presence because they're so focused in a certain area. Again, I talked about a subdivision, and their marketing is there. So you also don't want to write them off. So I'm saying this to say, when choosing that right realtor, use the online presence as a guide, but that may not be that lasting decision for you. But it is definitely a great place to start. You can search for credentials, you can search for reviews, you can search for how long they've been at their company. A lot of us, you will be able to actually see the properties that we have helped both buyers and sellers with. So the online search is very, very important. But again, just like I'm kind of advocating for that agent who may not have been doing it as long, but they may have that knowledge, they may have that time, and they may have that energy towards your transaction. Also, an agent who is not as active online may be more present in a certain area, but that online due diligence will definitely be great. Because I will say this too as well. Sometimes people will show you that you don't want to work with them. Just like jobs interview, you guys are interviewing us when you reach out to us and you're asking questions. And so that online presence can also be the start of their interview. So I do encourage you to go online. I'm just saying, let that be a part of your decision and not the full-on deciding factor when looking for a new realtor. And the next thing when choosing the right realtor is their patience. That is so important. I know in the past, I've had clients that I've referred to, like lenders, and they would just call me and say they were cold, or they just didn't give off the energy. And that is going to be so important. You already know, like I said, if this is your second or third time doing this, again, this isn't your first rodeo. So you know what this entails. And for that 30, 45, sometimes 6 months, sometimes a year, however long that process is, you're just about married to your realtor. And so you want to make sure that the person that you're going to work with is patient. And when I say patient, I don't just mean like, oh, you're looking at multiple houses and they're not rushing you, but I mean patient to let you ask all your questions. Again, if you are a first-time home buyer, you don't know much. So you're going to have a lot of questions, and you want to make sure that that agent is patient with you. And a really good way is to see how they handle you before they have the contract. Now, of course, there's only so much that we can do and can give before we have a contract, because we do work on commission. But I know for me, if you call and you have questions and you want to know and you're trying to decide if you're going to work with me, I'm an open book. I want to make sure that not only do I answer your questions, but I'm also not rushing you off the phone just because I haven't gotten a signed contract from you. So I'll say this: agents who love what they do and they're here for the client and not the check, that'll be a good indication. You're going to experience patience from them. You're going to experience kindness from them. They're going to be open. Again, they're going to be responsive. So when you're looking for that right realtor, someone who is open to just answering those questions, and if they don't know the answer to a question, someone who's adamant about saying, I'm going to make sure I get that answer for you. So I hope that this is helping you out so far. We've just got a couple more to go, and I promise you are going to be ready when you go to choose your next realtor. Next one is going to be really important, and I'm not sure that all clients look for it, so that's why I am telling you this one. And that's going to be an agent who has connections. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to selling a home and also buying a home. So an agent who's able to refer an interior designer, a mover, an inspector, even appraiser if you're, looking to sell your homes, and an agent who's able to refer those because they have those connections, what that says to you, the client, is that they've truly built a business to make things easier for you. If you have to go out and find all of your own partners and connectors and vendors, then that could kind of be an indication to the type of agent that they are. Now, I'll say this: we're not required as agents to have an interior designer on our team or have a mover on our team, but I'm bringing to you and choosing that right realtor. Someone who does have that is an agent that has decided to go the next mile. And when their business is set up like that, that means that's how they're going to work for you in your transaction. So when you're looking for that next realtor, those are some questions that you can ask up front. If it's things that you know you're going to need, if you're not going to need an interior designer, it doesn't matter if they have it or not. But if you're going to be moving and you may need a mover, then that's great to ask up front. If you're going to be selling your home and maybe it is an estate sale, you're selling for a family member, or you guys are moving out of state and you may need some trash out, you may want to ask that agent up front, do you have a trash out company for me? So again, an agent who has great connections is an agent who's built their business to go the extra mile for you, which means they're going to go the extra mile for you. So I think this next one is also really important for you to make sure that you understand that agent's process. And what I mean by that is, will you be working with them the entire time from start to finish? Or will they have a showing agent that actually takes you to look at the properties? Will they have a transaction coordinator who may be emailing you as well to sign and get documents? Then you also want to make sure that that works for you. Most business people understand that there are different touch points or different individuals who they may touch in the process, but you want to make sure that if that is how that agent runs their business, that it's smooth and it's not confusing and you're not getting the same document from multiple people. So again, most agents will explain that to you up front, but now I'm kind of teaching you the questions to go in asking when you do decide to interview with your agent. If you're one of those people who's like, I got this agent and I kind of want you going on showings with me, I would, just prefer to only talk to you, then that's something that you can present to the agent up front. Because another thing about us is that we're very adjustable. Saying all of that to say, I have a showing agent. So when I have clients in a certain price range, my showing agent will take them. But I will also ask my clients, are you more comfortable if I go? Do you prefer that I'm there with you so that we can kind of talk and discuss, so that as we're putting in offers, you're comfortable, you're confident? So again, I have my business set up in a way that works for me, but ultimately I work for you. Again, you want to ask, you want to make sure that you understand their process and that their process does work for you and how you would like this to go. So this is my last and final tip in choosing the right realtor, and I think that this is such a big one. It is so important that your realtor consults with you before taking you into the field. You don't want someone who's so excited that you got a pre-approval, or they're so excited that you're ready to list your home that they just go off doing the work and you all have not sat down and had at least a 5 to 10 minute in-depth conversation. So not 5, let's say 10 to 15 minute in-depth conversation. Not knowing your goals can truly waste your time. If you and that agent are not on the same page about your deal breakers, if you all are not on the same page about your areas, that's even something that I try to pride myself on. I'm all day going to send things to my clients that they didn't necessarily ask me for because they may not know about this area or about this type of property. But the moment they say and they've seen it and they're like, I know for sure I don't want to go there, it's eliminated. So now I'm not sending them things that's going to waste their time. So when choosing a new realtor, your next realtor, your first realtor, you want to make sure that that agent sits and consults with you, that they know what is needed for your family. They know that if there's anyone with a disability, if accessibility to a home is important. Again, what your price range is. If you all are looking to sell, where are you moving? How soon are you moving? How much do you need to make off of this sale? So you do not want a realtor that's so anxious to get in the field, because again, that is more focused on the check than you, the client. Listen, I hope that you thoroughly enjoyed that video. I hope that you got a lot of information from that video when you're choosing your next realtor. And again, if you're in the Michigan area and you're looking for your luxury home, your next home, you want to sell your home, I would love the opportunity to work with you. All of my information is in the description box, and I look forward to serving you. If it's luxury that you want, it's me that you need. I'll see you next time.